What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Cam with Stoic Soldier. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys have had a great week. Hope you all are having a great weekend, finishing it off strong. I know I've been out for a little bit. I've had a little bit of a sickness on and off. But thanks to the nice hot weather outside and here in the valley, I'm finally starting to acclimatize a little bit. It's generally been easier for me to acclimatize to this weather. But feeling much better. Anyway, without further ado, getting into the video today. Actually, to elaborate a little bit further, if you guys recall in the previous video, it was titled Owning Yourself, and I want to go a little bit deeper into that today. So we talked about how when it comes to owning yourself, it's not just about being confident. That's the surface of it. That's what a lot of people see. And again, there's truth to that, but it goes a lot deeper. It's about being self-sufficient. It's about trusting yourself. It's about taking ownership, not just in the sense of taking responsibility for your actions, good or bad, but more so just taking control of the wheel, meaning that even though you may look to people for advice, for pointers, for recommendations, you are still ultimately the one who not only makes the executive decision, but more importantly, you're not just going to one source. You're looking to multiple different sources and basing the executive decision off of the legitimacy of the sources that you've went to. You're basing it off of the results that they have had, that others have had. You're basing it off of how logical it seems for your situation, because again, not everybody's the same. Yours might be a little bit skewed compared to theirs, or theirs might be a little bit skewed compared to yours. So it's always good to look at different contributing factors and ultimately feeling comfortable after assessing and evaluating all that to make the decision confidently and not just treating it as some kind of a Hail Mary. You want to be able to get the results that you're looking for on purpose as much as possible. Of course, life happens. It's not always like that. But being able to have as much control over it as you possibly can with a measured tactical approach. Now, to delve a little bit deeper also, when it comes to being self-sufficient, it doesn't necessarily have to be to the degree of, as we talked about, growing your own crops for food or printing out your own money or anything like that, or building your own house from scratch. Even though there are people like that, it absolutely is possible. So for those of you guys who want to try it, by all means, my hat's off to you. That is fantastic. But not everybody has the time and patience for it or the energy, so that's fine too. However, just because you are not necessarily doing it all by your hands specifically doesn't make you any less important, doesn't make you any less of a contribution to what's going on in your life. See, the way that I've come to look at it is like this. This is a little example that has given me a lot of perspective. Is you think of a movie set almost. You have your actors, you have your producers, you have your editors, you have the sound guys, you have the guys who do the graphic design for the special effects of the CGI. You have all those guys, and as important as they are and as fantastic as they make the movie, who is the one who is ultimately in charge? Who is the one who is ultimately delegating all these tasks and making this happen? That's the director. He's the one who had the idea initially. He's the one who had this vision implanted in his mind. He had a whole strategic plan set out, and he ultimately assigned these roles and these tasks based off of which individual, or in this case group of individuals, would be able to handle each one the most efficiently. And he picked a very few select group of people to handle each one of these tasks because he knew that he would be the right one for the job, or that they would be the right ones for the job. So you think of your life as your own movie set in a way. You have your work, you have your boss, you have your coworkers, you have the people who train you, you have your clients if you're an entrepreneur, if you have your own business. These are the people who are providing you with business. These are the people who are giving you referrals for other people and other services you might be able to provide. However, that doesn't take away from you and the fact that you are still generating it. Yes, they are paying you for your services or for your product or whatever you're offering, but you are the one who knows how to market it. You are the one who's advertising it correctly. You are the one who's ultimately filling a void for them. It's still supply and demand. It's not as if they're just doing it for you and you need to be grateful for it. I mean, yeah, be grateful for it by all means, but it's not exactly as if you are completely helpless or that anyone's helpless in this scenario. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone is still generating something on their end. So going back to the movie set analogy, again, you have the people that you do business with, you have your friends. They help you they help you feel human in a way. They keep you going in your social life. They take you out. They introduce you to more people, even if it's not social. Sometimes it could be for business. They introduce you to people who you can network with, people who can help you expand, people who can help you expand your knowledge, further your skills, whatever. They're ultimately going to lead you, because as the saying goes, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. And then, again, you have your landlord. You have whoever you pay rent to, if that's your landlord, if that's your parents, whoever that may be. Even though they are providing you with the housing, you are ultimately still working, you are still generating income to make that possible. And they chose you, and they've stayed with you for however long you've been there, because you are reliable, because they know that you will get the rent paid, because they know that you will get things done. So that is still you. Yes, again, they may be providing that for you, and be grateful for it by all means, but also be grateful to yourself. Don't forget to credit yourself, realizing that you are the one who's making it happen. Because you have to ask yourself honestly, if I was just sitting on my ass all day and doing nothing, would they still be providing it for me? No. If I was lazy at my job, or if I was providing some kind of a business service to someone, if I had clients and I was half-assing that, if I was just trying to milk as much from them with the time that I had as possible and they didn't get a lot out of it, would I still be getting the same kind of money? Would I still be getting the same kind of revenue or income? And more importantly, would I be able to maintain these clients, and would I be able to get more on top of that? So whatever you're doing, you are keeping them coming back. More are coming with it. You are maintaining your lifestyle because you are making it happen. So that alone is being self-sufficient, and that is something to give yourself credit for. Now, talking about the decision-making part, talking about trusting yourself, talking about having faith or trusting your tuition, whatever your higher power, whatever it is that you believe in. That comes not just with trial and error. Yes, that is a major part. Ultimately, you just got to get out there and do it. You got to get out there and make it happen. But you don't want that to be the only thing that you rely on, because at a certain point you're just making mistake after mistake after mistake. And yes, naturally you do learn certain things as you go along. However, sometimes you make so many mistakes and you screw things up so bad to the point where you just start losing confidence. You just start, you almost feel ashamed. You almost feel embarrassed. I know, because I've done this myself many times with the amount of mistakes that I've made, and it was just repeatedly over and over again. And then it started going back to Einstein's famous quote of the definition of insanity being doing the same thing over and over again, repeatedly, and expecting a different result. So even while you're making mistakes, it's important to still separate from your own ego and allow yourself to just take that breath, step back, reassess, and see what it is that you've done, what it is that you could do better, and not just grasping on the specifics, but also grasping on the universal concept as much as possible, something that you can apply just about anywhere you go, so that way, if the situation or the circumstance switches up a little bit, but it's the same principle, it's the same concept, you're going to have a lot higher of a chance and a likelihood of being able to jump that hurdle, and then therefore you'll be able to advance, you'll be able to improve and progress. So not just thinking about trial and error, but also again, looking at those sources, doing as much research as you can, studying it, seeing who it is that you're learning from, making sure they're a valid, credible source. And you know that not just by hearing from them, but by hearing from other people, looking at their lifestyle, looking at their results. As I say, practice what you preach. If you see somebody like that, and then you know that they're around such people, or even more importantly, that they have produced or helped develop such people who are duplicating the same thing, then that's how you know that this is something that could be legitimate. But again, don't make that the only one that you go to. Always fact check, always cross-reference, always go to as many sources as you can until you feel confident. Think it over 1,000 times if you have to, but act once. So, biggest takeaways for today that I want you guys to keep in mind that have really helped me over the years: fact check as much as possible. Know who you're talking to. Check for references from people they've worked with, to their lifestyle, to the results that they've had. Do your own research outside of that. Find as many other people similar to that as you can, and base it off of your situation. It might not be the exact same, but if the concept is somewhat similar, or even if you find multiple similar concepts that apply to you, you can kind of combine them and find the best of both to make it fit for you, to make it something that works for you. Being able to adapt is our greatest strength. It's been our greatest strength since the dawn of creation. So this is something that we still use to this day. If one thing doesn't work, we add something else, and then we add something else, and then ultimately we combine the best of each, and ultimately finding what's most suitable for us. And over time, the more that you put that into practice, the more practical that you make it, the more at ease you'll start to feel. That's the key word right there. Finding ease, being able to do it with comfort, being able to do it without having to force it, being able to do it without having to overexert yourself, just allowing it to come naturally. Matter of fact, in the next video, I think that's what I want to talk about. As I told you guys in the past, I've delved into a lot of different philosophies. I want to be talking a little bit more about how the Taoist philosophy actually does resonate very well with Stoic philosophy and many others, and how it leads to having not just necessarily a successful life, but more importantly, a peaceful and at ease mind, to where even if things don't work out exactly the way that you want them to, it still works out in a way that you're content, and more importantly, you're not stressing. You're not in this constant state of anguish or agony. You're still just at peace, which is really what you want to look for. And by doing that, you're going to find that the journey is a lot more enjoyable. Because even if you don't get exactly what you want, if you can just make things to where it's not so arduous for yourself, you'll be able to really take your time and actually go through every step, and then even go through it multiple times if need be, without burning yourself out. And that's been a huge help for me. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that today. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Those of you who have been subscribed to the channel, those of you who are new, again, welcome. Thank you guys so much for your time. Hope you guys can go ahead and drop a like and subscribe for me. Any other comments that you guys have, any other requests or questions that you guys have, I'm more than happy to answer that for you. And as I said, in the next video, we'll be delving into some different topics. And I look forward to starting the next chapter with you guys. So hope you guys enjoy your week. Hope you guys are staying strong. Hope you guys are staying focused. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. So have a great day, guys. Stoic Soldier out. Take care.